everyone, welcome to the next video in our Moodle 3.4 tutorial series. In this video we're going to continue our look into making quizzes with Moodle, and we're going to check out how to make questions using the question bank. To see the question bank, navigate up to the upper right hand corner, click on the gear, and choose More here at the bottom. You'll see a whole bunch of different options come up, and what you want to do is scroll down to the bottom where you see Question Bank and choose Categories. Now, I like to create a category for all of my quizzes. People use them for different things. Sometimes they categorize types of questions into one category so they can pick and choose from each quiz. What I like to use categories for is I take every quiz that I'm going to assign to students and I make it its own category. So for example, in this video I'm going to use our week 1 quiz that we made in our last video and make that a category, and then put all of the questions that I want to add into that quiz into the category so I can simply find it on my computer and just select all of them and bring it over. It's going to be a little bit easier to understand once you actually see it in action. So what we're going to do is scroll down to the bottom and under Add Category, name it what we want. So the parent category is what it's going to be under, and this is fine because this is the actual name of our class, so this will be the parent category, and we want to name our category Week 1 Quiz 1. Now any kind of questions that I'm going to put on my week 1 quiz 1 test, I'm going to put inside of this category. So you can put category info here if you choose, or you could just press add category. Okay, so now we have our week 1 quiz 1 category here, and if we want to add questions, all we have to do is click over here into the questions tab. If you look here, we have our default category and it says that we already have 2 questions added to it, because when we created our quiz in our last video, we did add 2 questions directly to the quiz. So what we want to do is, instead of having this as our category, we want to select our week 1 quiz 1 category, and you'll see we have no questions in here at all, so we have to start creating new questions. So to create a question, click create a new question. And we're going to go over just a few questions in this video, not all of them, but as you can see there are so many different kinds. So I recommend taking a look at each one of them and seeing what they can do and see which one works better for you in your class. In this case, I'm just going to choose multiple choice and press add. And my first question, we have to give it a question name because we want to be able to differentiate between each question when we add them to the quiz. This Moodle question is going to be about your editing button. So I'm going to name this editing button. I'm going to paste in some text here, and you can see it says, what is the first step when you want to make a change to your Moodle course? I'm going to leave my general feedback section empty, and I'm going to leave these options here as well. There's only going to be one answer, and I'm okay with the lowercase alphabet as how to number my choices. And now we're going to put our choices in. So what I'm going to do is populate the answers in all of these options, and then we'll come back and talk about each one. Okay, so we have all of our choices here, and you can see that I populated 4 of the answers here. And now we have to tell Moodle which one is the correct one. So the correct answer is this first one. So what we're going to do is give that a grade of 100%, because if the students choose that one, they'll get it right. And all the other ones, we're just going to leave it as none, because if they click on those, they'll get the answer wrong. Scroll down to the bottom, and if I want to add more choices, I can always do that with blanks for 3 more choices. And when you're done, click Save Changes. So here we have our icon, so we could delete it if we want or make any changes to it. Now I'm going to keep adding questions, and in this case I'm going to make a true or false question, and I'm just going to keep populating this, and my question name for this one is going to be Moodle Gradebook. And I'm going to paste some text in here, and here it's saying the question is, Moodle Gradebook is designed for teachers with advanced grading methods, true or false? This statement is false, so we're going to make the correct answer and keep it as false. And we could put feedback in here if they answer incorrectly, or feedback in here if they answer correctly. I'm just going to leave mine as is and press Save Changes. And now I'm going to create another question, and we're going to do a short answer for this one. I'm only choosing 4 different kinds of questions just so you can get an idea of what they look like. And in this case, we're going to name this question Navigation Bar. Paste the text in here. Now you can see that the text that's in here is asking, what is the name of the menu shown in the following picture? So what I need to do is now add the picture so that way my question makes sense. And to add a picture, I'm just going to click on Images here. And I have it on my desktop, so I'm just going to choose the file right from my desktop. And then press Upload this file. And I want to change the pixels here. And then give the description of an image. So we're going to give it a description. and then press Save Image. So here is the image, and this is exactly what I want. And we're going to scroll down now, and we have to give our answers. Now, short answer means they have to write it exactly as is. If the correct answer is the navigation bar, and I would give that answer 100%, but let's say they answer something like navigation. So granted, it is not the full answer, but they get part of it right. So for that one, I'll give 50% of the answer. And then you can put in whatever else, what other option you want here. So you can name an editing menu, and we're going to give that one none. And then let's leave it just as those three. So they have the option of putting 2 of those answers in and getting credit for it. We're going to save the changes. And the last question that I want to create is going to be an essay question. Press Add. And my question name is going to be History of Moodle. And I'm going to paste my text in here. Okay, so here's my text. Scroll down to the bottom, and then you just give some response options. So the required text require the student to enter text, which is obviously what we want them to do. We can make the box size as big as we want, so we could give them 40 lines if we want. If you want to allow them to give attachments, in this case, I just want them to write right into the box. And you could also require attachments as well. And once you're done, you click Save Changes. All right, so now we have our 4 questions, and they are created. So now how do we add them to the quiz? We're going to add them to our Week 1 Quiz 1. So let's click back onto our main Moodle page, scroll down, and click on Week 1 Quiz 1. And since we already added 2 questions here, we have to go up to the little gear here and click on Edit Quiz. And then we get taken back to this familiar page. And now to add questions, we go to Add from Question Bank. And now we could select and choose what we want. So from our category here, instead of having it the default, because the default posts every single question regardless of what the category is, to make it easier, we could just go to our Week 1 Quiz 1 and see all the 4 questions that we created. And we can click them off one by one, or we can click all of them by clicking here and press Add Selected Questions to Quiz. So now we have all of our questions here, and if we want to, we could preview this quiz as well. So we want to save it and make any changes that you need to make to the weighting of the grades here if you choose. And I want to go back to this quiz, and then we can preview it. So I'm going to go to the gear, click Preview, and start the attempt. And now you can see all of our questions that we have. So these are the ones that we created before. And our next page has, this is our essay question, and it gives us the box that we asked them to give. It gives us an option for the student to type all their stuff. Our multiple choice question is here, and then we have our short answer here, and it shows the picture that we attached, and then we have our true or false. So that's it. That's how you use the question bank to add questions to a quiz. I feel that the question bank is very useful in this sense because you're able to create everything in advance, and then instead of adding them one by one like we did initially, you can add everything all at once and be all ready to assign your test to your students.